catch me if I fall.
2024 Mercedes-Benz CLE Coupe splits the difference. With the 2024 E-Class sedan about to make landfall, the CLE Coupe's role as the replacement for the C-Class and E-Class Coupe snaps into focus. Looking in the rearview mirror doesn't reveal much about where things are headed. In the case of the 2024 Mercedes-Benz CLE Coupe, that trap is easy to fall into if you dwell on the outgoing C and E-Class coupes when attempting to make sense of the car that's slated to replace both. The new one doesn't seem to split any sort of difference, until you realize that the C and E-Class sedans that spawn those predecessor coupes are irrelevant. Both date to 2017. Since then, the C-Class was redesigned and enlarged for 2022, entering its fifth generation. A new coupe was not part of the deal, so the two-door carried on with fourth-gen mechanicals. Meanwhile, the old E-Class sedan persisted until a redesigned 2024 E-Class was recently announced. Again, no coupe for you. With those developments in mind, the emergence of the 2024 CLE explains much about the shuffling going on behind the scenes. More C than E. The CLE shares its 112.8-inch wheelbase with the new C-Class sedan. It's an inch longer than the outgoing C-Class coupe, but well short of the gargantuan 116.6-inch wheelbase of the upcoming E-Class. The CLE's overall length of 191.0 inches falls roughly halfway between the two, while its 73.2-inch width hews a bit closer to the E-Class. In short, the CLE's dimensions make it a credible tweener, but it rides on the shorter C-Class's wheelbase, which makes more sense for a coupe. Fans of the pillarless E-Class coupe will be saddened to learn that the CLE has a door pillar like the C-Class coupe. But this doesn't harsh the vibe, as its flanks are smooth and flowing, with subtle fender creases that further elongate the shape. In fact, the cab backward description of the 5th-gen C-Class sedan is even more apparent here, as the CLE's extra body length makes the hood look considerably longer. All told, there's a hint of AMG GT coupe in the proportions, even though the CLE shares nothing with that high-performance two-seater. Instead, the underpinnings consist of the same sort of multi-link front and rear suspension layouts as the C-Class. This gave the CLE poise and balance on a sinuous drive route along the coastal roads of northern Spain. Unfortunately, the C-Class similarities don't end there, as it also displayed the same driving simulator steering and brake feel that we bemoaned during our C300 road test. There's accuracy and predictability in abundance, but the driver feedback loop isn't adequately developed. We'd like to say the suspension filtered out the rough stuff and took the edge off when the 20-inch Continental tires encountered unpleasant pavement, but we can't. It absolutely accomplished that, but the cars we tested had a Europe spec calibration with adaptive dampers and rear wheel steering that we won't see. CLE 300 base models in the United States will get passive dampers, while the CLE 450 will come with position-sensitive passive dampers as part of a sport suspension setup. Theoretically, these should ride smoother than that sounds when you're driving straight because they will develop less damping when the shocks are near mid-stroke. Time will tell. 2 engines, 1 transmission, 4MATIC only. Under the hood, the base CLE 300 has the same uprated turbocharged 2.0-liter 4-cylinder first seen in the 2022 C300. It makes 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, the latter representing a 22 lb-foot increase over the old C300. Step up to the CLE 450 and you get a turbocharged 3.0-liter inline-six that makes a cool 375 horsepower and 369 pound-feet. Both engines feature an integrated starter generator, ISG, that allows the 48-volt hybrid system to add as much as 23 horses and 151 pound-feet at opportune moments. The ISG doesn't bolster either engine's total output, but it does paper over turbo lag and make start-stop episodes virtually unnoticeable. Neither engine sounds particularly enthralling, but the 450's inline-six motivates the car without hesitation. Mercedes hasn't disclosed the CLE's curb weight or estimated acceleration times, but our test of a 2022 C300 provides a clue. We expect the CLE 360 miles per hour time to be no more than a tenth of a second off the 4,044-pound C300's 5.3-second effort. As for the CLE 450, we reckon it'll be a second quicker. Both varieties will top out at 130 miles per hour, according to Mercedes. Downstream, there are no choices to make. Each mill comes paired with Benz's 9-speed automatic transmission, and power flows from that into a standard 4MATIC all-wheel drive system. Rear-wheel drive models have been on the Coupe menu in the past, but Mercedes isn't ready to say if they'll return. They also won't confirm or deny any subsequent AMG-branded models, but that seems inevitable. One look at AMG's current C sedan offerings is all it takes to imagine where that's headed. A familiar interior. Inside, the CLE is impressive in terms of design, materials, and the initial impression of the dual-screen layout. It's a huge case of déjà vu, in fact, because the cockpit looks nearly indistinguishable from the 2022 C300 we tested. That car impressed us with its interior craftsmanship, and so does the CLE. But that utter similarity also leads to the same familiar consternation, as there are no switches or knobs in evidence. The central touchscreen is the go-to place for all manner of adjustments, from climate control to drive settings to you name it. Also, the numerous buttons on the steering wheel are all look-alike touch-sensitive zones. The result is pure lunacy, to the point where we once asked the passenger to change the drive mode so we could keep our eyes on the road in the thick of driving. How's that for voice control? Admittedly, there's more capability in this new third-generation MBUX system than one could master in a day's drive. There are personalization templates, automated AI-powered routines, and a sound and massage revitalization utility that pops up if some algorithm thinks you might be tired. Still, the fact that many basic control adjustments are far from self-evident tells you something. But, hey, when parked, it'll let you do TikTok things or play 2009's Angry Birds, so it's all good, right? The CLE's interior is spatially superior to the old C-Class Coupe, with more front and rear passenger volume. The biggest gains are a nearly 1-inch gain in front legroom and shoulder room and over 2 inches of added rear legroom. Trunk volume is up too, but the extra backseat space and luggage capacity still don't make this a long-distance proposition for 4. Mercedes won't announce pricing information until closer to the car's early 2024 release date, but our extrapolations suggest the 2024 CLE 300 might start around $60,000, while the CLE 450 could go for about $75,000. Is blending two coupes into one the right move? It would seem so, as the coupe market continues to shrink while the E-Class sedan itself grows larger. But we're not quite convinced that the CLE Coupe has the right combination of ingredients. Ultimately, our take will depend on how well U.S spec models perform on familiar soil.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. Praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight.